Fed and the federal government stick it to us again. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, December the 22nd. And, well, once again, we saw Jerome Powell, and, of course, he stuck it up our ass. And, of course, these interest rate cuts have not helped you, the American citizen. The interest rate cuts continue to help the banks because, of course, mortgage rates have gone higher, lending rates have gone higher. The 10-year note, which was 3.5% on September the 18th, is now 4.5%. So tell me where we found the help to get ourselves and help the American people. And, of course, the continuing resolution, the spending. If anybody had any doubt that they were going to pass another bill, a continuing resolution, not shut the government down, then you really should reevaluate what you're thinking, because there's no way that this administration is shutting that government down. Okay, so at the end of the day, we got fucked again, and of course it'll cost us more money. Again, we've got the acceleration of interest rates and inflation due to the Federal Reserve. This whole ploy was a way to raise more tax money. It is simply the simple case of inflation, okay, created by the hidden tax. Okay, the hidden tax is on the taxes that you pay on every grocery item you buy, on everything you buy. Somebody is paying a federal tax on that. So the higher the prices go, the more tax money that they collect. Pretty simple formula. But the Fed funds rate, just to be clear, does not benefit you or me. It benefits the banks because they're working on a spread, and of course they continue to print money at will because of the fractional banking rules that allow them to lend out 10 times what they have. And of course they borrow $1 million, they turn that liability into an asset, and then they lend out 10 times the amount. Sounds like a great plan to me. Anyways, I think that again the whole fuss about the shutdown was bullshit. This goes back to way back, Boehner and Tip O'Neill. That they sit in the back room, smoking a cigar, having a glass of scotch, and figuring how they're going to fuck the American people. And they've done it once again. But, of course, we look at the inflation and we care that it's under control. Well, I don't know. When I look at real spending is 3%, 0.3%, and real income is up 2%. Not a very good metric. Okay, it still means, and for the last year, you've been spending more than you're making. Okay, so again, I think that we have to look at this for real. Trump warns the EU to buy American oil and gas, or face a tariff war. I'm all for tariffs. Okay, again, I'm not for this free trade. I am not for NAFTA. I never was for NAFTA. Even when Clinton put it in, I thought it was bullshit, and I call bullshit today. Okay. I think that we should have tariffs. Again, you know, or you've heard me say in the past, that I think that we could be an island. And somebody commented that, well, look at what would the prices do? Well, again, the prices would not be significantly higher, but we would have jobs. People would be working in this country, and we'd have a more efficient, better running country. Instead of when you call customer service, that customer service call goes out to India. Okay, it doesn't go to people here. But we've become far too much of a service economy. And again, usually in typical, other than professionals, but typically service jobs don't pay as much as manufacturing jobs and jobs like that. Okay, and certainly there's no reason that we can't do our own manufacturing. And still, I wonder. Somebody says, "Well, where are we going to get our drugs from?" Are you happy that your drugs come from China? That's all I want to know. Are you happy that your prescription drugs comes from the country that sent over COVID, okay, as a form of chemical warfare? The University of Michigan inflation expectations rise, driven by the downbeat Democrats. You know, I don't understand. And again, listen, I hated Joe Biden. I never made it a secret. But I also did not try to destroy the country because I hated him. Okay, I lived underneath the system. Okay, and had what I had to say. But what is to be downbeat? Okay, if the economy is so good, which it's not, and everything is so good, which it ain't. Okay, but why would they be downtrodden? I don't understand. And of course, we now have the eggflation gate again. Eggs are going through the roof on the excuse of the bird flu, and of course, the expense to the average Americans. Again, this goes back to if you're an average American, okay, you're paying so much more for groceries, especially eggs, and you're paying so much more for fuel, Okay. It's hard to live when your cost of living and your increase in work and in wages has not kept up with true inflation. Okay? And abolish daylight savings times? Who the fuck needs daylight savings time? Are you kidding me? I mean, when it was put in, again, everything in this country has a purpose at a time. Okay? Unions had a purpose at a time, they should be abolished. Okay? Minimum wage had a purpose at this time, that should be abolished. We should go back to a free market system. But as far as daylight savings time, it is better if you just leave it flat and don't change time, because the farmers, who daylight savings time was for, don't need the early light anymore, because their tractors and combines are like condos, and they're lit, and they can work 24 hours a day if they want to. Okay. We're hearing that the USA has twice as many troops in Syria that we knew about. I don't know what to make of that. I'm happy that we have more troops there, but it would be nice to know what we're doing. But again, that's not for me to call. Party City going bankrupt, along with Big Lots to closing the rest of their stores. So the economy is great, yet two massive chains of discounted goods are going bankrupt. So who's next? Okay, and how many jobs is that going to take away? You know, we keep pushing and putting it down, kicking the can down the road without addressing what's really the problem. The real problem is the fucking Federal Reserve as a cartel that is designed to fleece the middle class out of their money. Okay. Appeals court disqualifies Fannie Willis. Oh, finally somebody did something that finally stepped up. I mean, if Fannie Willis is a piece of shit, okay, and had just a grudge and wanted to prove, kind of like I forget the name of the FBI agents in 2016 that guaranteed that Trump would never be president. Again, when are we going to just follow the laws? When are we going to just follow the Constitution? That's all I'd like to know. Okay, I mean, we have a Constitution in place for a reason. When are we going to use it? All right. More than 125 million in stolen Zelle. Again, everybody wants all this technology. And they want all these fancy things to pay, Venmo, Zelle, whatever they are. Look, there's people that are scamming you and stealing from you at all times. And every time you put something out there, you're exposing yourself to more. Don't you hear the stories of what is the problem? And I think it's a big problem, okay? Again, I don't like any of this technology. And AI, I guess it's good, it's great. I don't know. Again, I don't use it, okay? But let's talk about usage of power, okay? Everybody ripped on mining for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies years ago because of the power that it used. Well, just be clear. AI uses 3 times the amount of power it took to mine cryptocurrency. Okay? 3 times, and it's growing. Okay? Virtually, it's in that never-ending spin that, like in the cartoons, one day it'll just blow up. And of course, that's what the power grid is, because that's the power that it's burning. Okay? And this, I'll get into this in my commentary, but the NCAA president, what a ridiculous ruling he made on Friday. I have to wonder what has happened to this country, and it is regarding transgender, and you get my view and my opinion and how fucking stupid it is when we come back from the break and in our commentary later. This is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bubba Horwitz. We're going to stop out here for a break, and we'll be back with more right after the break. What's up, kids? Well, we're here Christmas time. Christmas time is coming, and we're a couple days away, and it's always great to have you, and I do want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy New Year if I don't see you before. But of course, we do have sponsors of the show, and they are brokerage partners. Certainly, I do have other brokers, so I'm just sending you to these because I believe these are the best. Okay, I believe they'll do the best job for you, but there is no obligation. But I do urge you to check it out, and that is, of course, TRADIER Brokerage, $10 a month flat. I mean, on Friday I made 3,000 options trades. Okay, for $10 flat for the month. Okay, I think you got to check them out, and they're scrolling on the side here or underneath. And of course, Capital Trading Group, our partner in some of our products, the greatest for futures and commodities, great customer service. Check them out also on the bottom. And of course, ITM Trading, our new partner for physical metals, gold and silver. They do a great job, and of course, I've been buying from them for years. And I think they're a great fit for anybody who wants to put in some physical metals. ITMtrading.com. It's actually learn.itmtrading.com/Bubba, but it's also on the bottom. And of course, our high school program, you want to help us out, check it out. And we'll get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and our market report where we're at now. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, the 22nd of December. And of course, last week, what a week. Whew. And of course, we said last week that we were expecting some selling, that we would expect to see a sell-off. I never expected the sell-off that we got, but the markets were extremely overbought, and boy, they got cratered on Wednesday and Thursday, and they were on their way on Friday to get hammered. And of course, the usual happens. The short squeeze came in, and the markets rallied. Now, they did not close anywhere near their highs, but they did put on a show. Okay, I would just tell you this, okay, that I do believe that the tops are in, but it doesn't mean there's going to be a rally. And in fact, you'll hear later, okay, that we're going to get long, okay, at some of these indexes. But at the end of the day, longer term, I think the tops are in. The semiconductors are struggling. There's a lot of issues out there, and the economy is in horseshit shape. And again, I think if President Trump does his job, it's going to get worse first. But I think it has to be done. In the meantime, the foreign major indices got clobbered. Now, the Dow was down until Friday. It was down on, I don't know, 14 days in a row. But the real clobbering came, like I said, Wednesday, Thursday, and early Friday, and then rallied back. We were short the Dow. We were short the Russell. We are going to reverse those and be long either tonight or tomorrow. It's up to you. And, of course, we're going to get long the S&P as well. We were flat that previously. And, of course, as we look at the rest of the dollar, which we don't trade anymore, and again, we don't trade it just because it is too expensive to trade for us. It's not fluid and going through a New York exchange and getting scammed. Not for me. Okay. In the meantime, we would be short. Okay. Euro currency, we are long. Bonds and notes, we are long. Again, it's interesting what's going on, and I think that once we get this last rally in the bonds and notes, I think that they're going to turn over because I think interest rates are going a lot higher. Bitcoin ran all the way to 105. Now, if you remember last week, I said if it gets to 100, sell. Okay, not because I'm negative. I love Bitcoin. Okay, I wish I owned more. I just knew that these whole numbers tend to fall, and I would expect to see a pullback to 85,000. We're short. Okay, gold we're long. Been struggling, but had a big rally on Friday. Silver we're flat. Had a little bit of a rally on Friday. Copper was higher. We're still flat. We haven't had a position there for a while. We're also flat silver. And platinum, we don't trade anymore, but platinum's lurking on the bottoms. If you want to take a shot somewhere, I think platinum's a pretty good shot to take a shot at. Grain markets, we're still short corn. They look awful in general. Actually, the one we're short looks the best, which is why we're shorted, because it looks like it's at the upper end. But again, I think that you're watching, and I do believe we're going to get a nice, big, solid rally in the grains, but I think that's a couple of months away. Cattle market had a little bit of a rally, but I think it still looks like it's lower. And I only trade that I'm still short. I did miss my buy in hogs, unfortunately. I was on the golf course when it got to 83. But hey, that's life in a big city. I'll have another opportunity, certainly. Natural gas had a little bit of a spark late in the week. We're still short it. Crude oil, we're still flat. It's still stuck between 66 and 72. And the softs, which we don't trade, but if you notice, coffee exploded higher, and OJ exploded higher again, and cocoa was the number one performing. Had a monster move at the end of last week, but we don't trade them anymore. In the meantime, again, I think it's just be careful. I don't expect much action the next 2 weeks, but that'll be up to you. But you will get the daily update every day. In the meantime, let's get back to a break, and then back to my commentary, and of course, football. This is Bubba's Bottom Line, Sunday, December the 22nd. Well, kids, again, I'm not going to go through the whole speech and the spiel. I'll just tell you our sponsors, check them out on the bottom and on the sides, and that's Capital Trading, TRADIER Brokerage, ITM Trading, and, of course, our high school program. And let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and me and my commentary. Welcome back. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, the 22nd of December. And, of course, we had Friday a ruling from the NCAA. It's unbelievable what's going on in this country, okay? They told the women, or the girls, that if they were upset about trans being in their locker room, that they should go to a different locker room. The NCAA, one of the most corrupt, one of the most ridiculous organizations in the history of this country. And again, if you look at what's going on in college sports today, okay, from the fucking transgender bullshit to the money that's being paid, the NCAA had a monopoly and we're stealing all that money, okay, all that huge profits they were making, and now the players finally got. Now I think it's gone too far the other way. But if you had a good governing body, first of all, they would have said no to transgender, to female athletes, men, people that were born as men that now became women. It is an unfair advantage. And fortunately, organizations like the LPGA and other sports have said no. Okay, if you were born a man, you are what you were born. Whatever you want to do in your personal life, you want to have a sex change, great. But the chromosomes you were born with, that's what you are. And I don't understand why the fucking NCAA, of all people, a $1 billion corporation, okay, with all the money that's made, why they can't do the right thing. And the right thing is not allowing men to compete in women's sports. It is just fucking stupid, and it's disgusting that they would actually side with the trans, okay, versus siding with the women who make the sports up. I don't know what you think, but I think that it sucks. Okay. In the meantime, it is a football Sunday as usual, and we do like the Rams -3 today, and we do like the Dallas Cowboys. How it's hard to get those words out of my mouth. And we do like the Dallas Cowboys. And in the meantime, to everybody, have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and if you're not back, Happy Healthy New Year. I'm looking forward to a big 2025. We've made a lot of great adjustments and really got everything under control, and really built some beautiful models. But I'm looking forward to it. But to all of you and your families, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you, tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update, and of course next Sunday with Bubba's Online. But until then, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later.